hand off, I'll start and then go through it. And then when I'm done, unless you feel like there's something you want to add during it, I'll just wait till I'm done, and then I'll hand it back off to you and then let you kind of summarize next steps.
Okay. Okay, John. Well, if you're ready, I'll start us. Okay, we're recording, so I'll kick it off. Okay. Hello, Hood River County School District kindergarten families. I'm Bill Newton, superintendent for Hood River County School District, and I'm joined with John Valley, who is the policy and outreach director for the state treasury department. And we have the good fortune of being able to bring to you today a presentation about Embark. And John is going to talk to you about what that means for all of you and our school district and what have you. But I do want to just say a couple of words, and that has to do with this opportunity is to be able to help our kindergarten families with beginning planning for their child's life after high school. And that can come in the form of different ways, such as college, 2-year college. It could come in the form of an apprenticeship or internship. But this is a way to be able to save money in order to be able to provide for those opportunities for your child when they do graduate from high school. We're fortunate to be able to do this because of a donation from the Farmers Conservation Alliance here in Hood River, who donated $25,000 to the Hood River County Education Foundation last year. And because of that, we are able to turn that money and donate $100 to every single kindergarten family to open an Embark account for each of their children. And so it's a pretty cool opportunity. I just wanted to let you know the how this has come to be. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to John Valley, who's going to walk you through a presentation. So, John.
Thank you, Bill. And thank you all for taking the time to listen to this and watch this. I am John Valley with the Oregon Treasury Department. I've been with the department for over 10 years now, and we implement 3 savings programs, and one of them is the Embark 529 program. It used to be known as the Oregon College Savings Plan. We changed the name to Embark this past September, because when you open up an Embark account, you're able to save for multiple post-secondary education opportunities, not just a 4-year school or a 2-year school as from a college perspective, but you're also able to save for apprenticeship programs, licensing programs, certification programs, and we're going to talk about that during this presentation. So if you're familiar or have heard about the Oregon College Savings Plan in the past, that's what Embark is. And again, that's a 529 account, which is the section of the Federal Revenue Code where Congress authorized states to create these 529 programs. We implemented at Treasury, and the common thing with all of them is that it's an after-tax program where you put money into an investment savings account and are able to use that to pay for post-secondary education expenses. I think there's a couple things to remember when you hear about the program, is that not only are the interest you're earning tax-free, but you'll also be eligible for a state income tax credit, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Other people who contribute to the account, they would be eligible for that tax credit as well. We'll talk about that. You can make contributions directly from your bank account, and that can be from a bank or a credit union. You can set up an automatic contribution for every month or every week, or not at all. You can, once you open the account, you can put as much in as you want, as little as you want, as frequently or as infrequently as you want. There's no minimum balance once you open the account. It's totally up to you. We might let you know if you haven't contributed to the account after a while, just to remind you that you have it. But it's totally in your control. There's no minimum balance. And we're really excited about being able to partner with Hood River to give you this opportunity for you and your kindergartner. As I said before, you can use the money in this account for a 4-year school, a 2-year school, trade school in Oregon or outside of Oregon. The only criteria is that the school needs to be accredited, which means it's eligible for federal financial aid, which is about 95% of all schools. If you're not sure, you can always go to the FAFSA website, which is the financial aid government website. You'll type the school in, and it'll let you know whether or not it's eligible for federal financial aid. which means it's accredited. The money in the account can be used for anything that's required to go to that educational institution. So that would include tuition, books, computers. Now, if your son or daughter ends up wanting to be a chef and they go to a culinary school and that requires them to buy pots and pans and knives, those would all be eligible expenses as well. So it's anything that is required to go to that educational institution. Now, if you have any money left over in the account once they graduate from that school, you can use up to $10,000 remaining in that Embark account to pay for student loans. It's up to $10,000 for that person you've identified as the beneficiary. And that's a one-time use. That's not an annual use, but some people, they have money left in their Embark account, can use it for paying off student loans. Now, one of the most common questions I get from parents when I talk about this program is that, well, if I open up an Embark account and I put money in, and then my son or daughter graduate from high school and they decide they don't want to go to college or go to a post-secondary institution, what happens to the money? It's always important to remember that the money in the account is the account owner's money, not necessarily the beneficiaries. So what does that mean? I have two accounts for each one of my kids. I have a son who's 20, and I have a daughter who's 16. When my son turned 18, all the money in his Embark account, it's not like a trust that he inherits it and he can go spend it on whatever he wants. I control it as the account owner. So the nice thing is, if he decides, now he's at Lewis and Clark now, but if he wanted to take time off and travel around the world and figure out what he wanted to do with his life, there's no time limit of when the money needs to be used by, or an age requirement. So he can be traveling around the world. If he comes back when he's 25 or 30 years old, he can still have his money in the Embark account, earning interest tax-free, no penalty, no problem. Let's say he decides he doesn't want to go to school, or he has a full scholarship and doesn't need the money in his account. I can roll that over into his sister's account, my daughter's account, no penalty, no problem. You can always change the beneficiary within a first cousin. So let's say my wife wanted to go back to school for professional development or just take a cooking class or an art class. I can make her the beneficiary. Now, if there's no one to change it to and you just need to take the money out of the account, or if you want to keep it in the account, you can do that for that beneficiary and turn it into a Roth individual retirement account. The money needs to be in the account for that individual for over 15 years. But if they're not going to use it for post-secondary, you can help them start off with a retirement account. And if you don't want to do that and you need to take money out of the account, you can do that because it's an after-tax program. Let's say there's a car accident, you need to make a car payment to get car repairs done, and the only money you have access to is in your Embark account. You can take that out. There's a 10% penalty, but it's only on the interest you've earned, not on your contribution or the principal, because it is an after-tax program. You'd also have to pay back the state, whatever state tax credits you've been taking, because you're not using it for a post-secondary education expense. There's more information about all of this on our website, which I encourage you to check out, and there'll be information how to access that at the end of the presentation. But just so you know, there's a lot of different options. If for whatever reason your son or daughter decide they are not going to go to a post-secondary institution after they graduate from high school, there's a lot of different things you can do with the money in the account. I was talking about the tax credit. It's up to $360 if you're a joint filer, $180 if you're a single filer. Again, other people who contribute to the account would be eligible for that tax credit as long as they pay Oregon state income taxes. I think one of the things I want to highlight about the tax credit is that it is a progressive tax cut. It's means tested. So what that basically means is that the more you earn, the more you have to contribute in order to maximize your tax credit. So for example, if you're looking at the joint filers and your joint income is $250,000 or more, you'd have to make $7,200 worth of contributions into the Embark account or more in order to get that $360 tax credit. However, if your joint income was $30,000 or less, it's a dollar for dollar match. You put $360 in, you get a $360 tax credit. And what that tax credit is basically reducing the amount you have to pay on your Oregon state income taxes. Again, there's a lot of information about this on our website if you want to look at it more closely. I was mentioning how other people can contribute to the account. The way that works is that we have an e-gift feature once you open the account where you're able to email friends and family directly from the account, letting them know of this opportunity. As I'm recording this, we're getting into the holiday season. So if winter holiday, Christmas, for example, and you're thinking of gift ideas, and I know when my kids were in kindergarten, I did not need any more stuffed animals or Lego toys cluttering up my hallway. I asked friends and family to contribute to the Embark account. And again, if they pay Oregon state income taxes, they'd be eligible for that state income tax credit. One of the things that I really want to highlight, we talk about the financial benefits of having an account from a tax perspective, but there's also an academic perspective from the student side of things. Research has shown that if you have $500 or less in a college savings plan account like the Embark account, a child is 3 times more likely to go to college and 4.5 times more likely to graduate. And as you can see in that bullet point on the slide, it says $500 saved for education. That's not $500 every year. That's $500 or less total. What that says is that, at least what the researchers are telling us, is that if you show a student and a young person that they have money set aside to help pursue their post-secondary education aspirations, they're more likely to pursue them, and especially if they're wanting to go to college. So a little bit of money from the family demonstrates to the student that, hey, that's an achievable goal. If the family's going to put some money aside, I'm going to focus on my academics and potentially really focus on going to high school. It's not a guarantee, but it does increase the likelihood, and that's what the research shows. One last thing I want to say about his ways to contribute is through our partnership with Bottle Drop. If you're familiar with the green and blue bags where you put in your recycling, we first became aware of it in my household when we were raising funds for our elementary school PTA, and we started making donations to the PTA through our Bottle Drop account. Well, now you can try your Embark account to your Bottle Drop account. And that's not only true for you, but again, family and friends, if they want to make contributions with their Bottle Drop account, they can tie it to your Embark account. Just another fun way of helping to raise funds. And even if your kindergartner wants to go to their local park or school to help recycle and collect cans and bottles, they can even have a part of contributing to their own Embark account. One other thing I wanted to mention, especially for your kindergarten parents out there, is that you're going to be getting a promo code from the Hood River team about being able to open an account without having to make an initial contribution. In addition to that, this is a statewide incentive that we offer to new parents with baby grad. So if you've had a baby within the last 12 months and open up an Embark account, we put $100 in there just to help get you started. But in addition to baby grad, we also have kindergrad. So if you have a kindergartner and you open an account anywhere in the state, we would usually put $100 into that account once you opened it with 25. The fact that you're able to open an account with a promo code and get a $100 contribution in there. In addition, if you don't already have an account, you'll get another $100 from kindergrad. So that's a $200 contribution for using this opportunity by opening an account with the promo code. One thing I want to keep in mind, or you should keep in mind that I want to remind folks in, is once you open the account, it may take several weeks for the money to actually show up in the account from a contribution perspective. If after several weeks you had not seen your contribution made into the account after you opened it, I'm going to show you a customer service line that you can contact and let them know that you might be having problems with your account. But it will be there eventually. It just may not happen right away. So don't get concerned if you don't see your contribution after you open the account from either the promo code or kindergrad. Again, when you open the account, there's a couple things to keep in mind. You're going to need your Social Security number or a taxpayer ID number that's required by federal law. And that's true not only for you as the account owner, but you're going to need the Social Security information for the beneficiary as well. And if they don't have a Social Security number, you can use an ITIN number for them. One last thing I'd like to talk about. Oh, and here's the customer service line. I just want to let you know that if you do have any questions about the program or problems with enrolling into the account, You can call our customer service line. And if English is not your first language, we have multiple translators that speak multiple languages, whether it's Spanish, Vietnamese, Russian. We have several translators that speak multiple languages. So please call our customer service line if you have any questions about the program, or if you start opening an account and you get stuck, they can help you with the enrollment process. As I said, I wanted to mention one more savings program we implement at Treasury. It's called the ABLE Savings Plan, and it's modeled after the Embark program. It's actually a 529A account. So when I talked to you before about the section of the Federal Revenue Code, that 529 that authorized states to create these post-secondary education savings programs, 529A allows families to save for disability-related living expenses. And so all of you parents of students with special needs, you may or may not have heard of this because they're relatively young if you're kindergartners, but there is an issue if a person with a mental or physical disability has more than $2,000 worth of assets, they can lose their benefits like Medicaid, SSI. And as your student and your child gets older and they're transitioning into young adulthood, that becomes a real issue. You may hear the term spend down. If you want to avoid the spend down, you open up an ABLE account, because the money in the ABLE account does not count against that $2,000 asset limit. So you can have $5,000 in an ABLE account and not worry about losing your Medicaid or your SSI or SSDI. If you are in a situation where you feel like ABLE is a more appropriate savings program for your child, there's an opportunity to get promo codes from Hood River, and they'll be able to help you get that. And there could be a separate training specifically on ABLE if there is enough people who would like to have an information session to have any questions answered about the ABLE program. With that, I just want to thank you all for your attention. I know there's a lot of things going on, so taking some time to learn about this opportunity. Hopefully you all will be able to take advantage of it. I'm going to hand it back to Bill, and I just once again want to say how much we appreciate being able to partner and work with the team at Hood River. We're really excited about this, and we hope all you are able to take advantage of this wonderful thing that has been presented to us from the folks in Hood River and the foundation who's been able to help put some resources behind this effort. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, John. Great job. So yeah, I want to again say thank you to John Valley and the Oregon State Treasury Department for supporting this effort with our school district. I also want to just again thank the Farmers Conservation Alliance. If any of you know people that are either board members or work for that organization, just a thoughtful thank you would go a long way. And then also I want to shout out to the Hood River County Education Foundation for supporting this effort as well. As you are aware, on the letter that you have received, there is a promo code on that letter that you can use in order to be able to access $100 from our school district and the Education Foundation and Farmers Conservation Alliance in order to be able to open your Embark account. If you need assistance with accessing that promo code for some reason, if it's not working or what have you, then I'm going to share with you. I'm going to put this up on the screen.
I can stop sharing my screen too.
There we go. Mine's going to pop up. It's up. So here's some contact information. So you have two emails you could send to, either hrcsd.communication@hoodriver.k12.or.us or my email address, which is hrcsd.superintendent@hoodriver.k12.or.us. And so you can reach out to either of those emails in order to be able to get support with accessing the promo code. And then if you have questions directly related to specific questions about Embark or ABLE accounts, I would ask that you first go to the following website, which is the embarksavings.com website, and see if you can get responses there. If you need support or if you're not getting some questions answered, feel free again to go back to the communications or superintendent emails, and we will do our best to contact John at the Treasury Department in order to be able to answer the questions that you have. And with that, I just want to hopefully, you're able to take advantage of this great opportunity. And if you have further questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again, everyone.